Okay, so now I've got my Cuban composition arrangement score written out here in terms of, or it's laid out in terms of the parts I want to write for. And then over in this tab, I've managed to be able to open up my my original composition that I started with. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the melody of this part, which is this is just the top part, the treble clef part. All I've done is I clicked on the first bar here, and then held the shift key down and used the right arrow and just held it down so it highlighted everything. You can also just scroll down to the end bar and hold the shift key down and then click the last note and it'll highlight everything in the treble clef. So I'm going to copy that. I've just hit Command C and I'm going to go to the arrangement. I'm going to click on that first bar of soprano xylophone because that's where we want the melody to go. And then we're going to hit Command V and it should paste it all. And there it is there. So it should paste it in the exact same structure. If we scroll down here, and you'll be able to see that everything you've written is already there. It's the benefit of having pre-written the melody already. We want to do the same thing now with the bass part. The bass part is here, so I'm going to click on the first note. I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to go to the last note, and I'm going to click the last note. I'm going to hold Command C. Then I'm going to go to the arrangement, click on bass xylophone. Now, you can see here, I'd almost made a mistake there. My composition's bass part starts in bar 2 because I have a little pickup or an anacrusis in bar 1. So I'll go back to my arrangement, click on bar 2 and paste it. And there it is there. Now it's pasted at an octave higher because I've written mine in this part of the bass clef. So what I want to do is I'd like to bring it down by leaving it highlighted, holding the Command key down and holding the down arrow or pressing the down arrow once, and it'll bring it down to where I'd like it pitched. All right, next what we need to be able to do is we've got to go through and start adding in some of these rhythm parts down the bottom here. The Cuban rhythms that we know from earlier in the presentation are set and defined because they're interlocking. So we need to now start adding these in so that somebody can read them. So Cuban composition, let's go back to our arrangement. Click on the first bar there, the clave pattern. What I'd like, I think I'm going to choose the 2-3 clave pattern. We'll see what that sounds like to begin with. So I'm going to notate this clave pattern in my arrangement. So I'll click on the first bar that I want. I'm going to click on arrest and it's added it. Then I'm going to go to here and I'm going to add in a crotchet. I just simply wait for the note to be able to come down. And then I add crotchet, and there is, and then it's a rest, I think, on that beat. So there it is there. I've notated that rhythm. Now I need to notate the remaining bar, or the 3 side of the clave. So again, I'll click on that bar there. I need a dotted crotchet, so I need to go and find that. If I click that, I might go back and highlight that note and add a dot next to it. Then I'm going to click here. I think I need another dotted crotchet. So I'll add a dotted crotchet. Bring that down a little bit. And add a dot to it. And then a crotchet just here. And there's my clave pattern. Because the rhythm is now the same throughout, it stands to reason that we should just copy what we already have instead of notating it. Copy it. And then we can paste that in all of the remaining clave bars. So I'll go down to the very last bar of clave, which is down here, I think. It's this part just here. And I'll paste it. Is it the last bar? Yes, it is. And I'll paste it. So click on that and click on that there. Paste it. It should have pasted it all the way through for me. Oh, of course it hasn't. So I'll highlight all the bars all the way through. And then I'll paste it. I won't go all the way down, but I'll just add it so far so that you can see how it works. Next, what I want to do is I want to go through and then start doing the same for the remaining rhythms. So here my martillo rhythm is going to be just the congas playing in quavers. So go back, click on quaver, and start adding in the notes. Now the pitch of the notes doesn't necessarily matter at this stage. It just has to represent the quavers. If you want to be able to adjust the pitch of those 2 quavers, you can just hit the up arrow key. Change that, I think, to there. And it'll put them at the top there, so it indicates that you're playing a higher quaver. We can take that pattern, highlight it all, copy it, and then paste it into those bars. And the same thing's got to happen for the Cascara pattern and for the Cinquillo pattern. Once you've started doing all of that, we then need to go through and add in the triads, or the chords that the alto xylophone is going to play. So my first chord in my piece is based on C major. So to make it easy, we're going to go through and we're going to put a C in this bar. So I'm going to hit C, and it's going to play the C for me. I'm going to go back over that note. I'm going to put an E above it, C, E, and then a G on top. I'll highlight just that, and I'll choose a whole note, and I might put it down the octave to make it look like a C chord. Now I use chord 1 for at least the first 2 bars, so I'll paste it in there. Your chord progression should be based around chords 1 and 5 as well. So over here, I might just continue to paste those chords. Paste it there as well. When I get to the chord here, which is G, this is where my bass line has changed to a G bass line. I'll just use the arrow keys to make the chord a G. So paste a C chord and move it up to a G. So go through and have a go at creating the arrangement. Once you've done that, I can come around and help you finesse things like putting in the double bar lines where they need to go, putting in your first and second time endings. But essentially, if you can build that arrangement, you'll have a really a nice score that you can hand to people and hand the different parts, and we'll be able to sort of see what you've done and hopefully get together and play it in a band and have it sound really, really good.